Defamation, hey, we often hear about it, but what can be done when you feel you are defamed, particularly if you're somebody of importance? Well, takes us to this week's case. You may have heard about this. Sara Palin brought claim against the New York Times, and she brought claim because, first of all, let's look at the background facts on this. One point in time, she had a political action committee that published an article saying, these are the election districts that we've got to do something with. And they had specific election districts on a map, and they had a crosshairs over them saying, these are targeted election districts. Now we move forward in time. We come up on 2011. In 2011, and you probably are aware of this, there was a mass shooting that took place in Arizona, and there Congresswoman Giffords was very badly injured. She was not killed, but she was very badly injured, particularly with bullet wounds to the head. A number of other people were, however, killed, and immediately following that, the New York Times published an article in which they said that a political action committee on behalf of Sara Palin had published a map with pictures of politicians and elected officials and a crosshair over them indicating they were targeted. Sara Palin said, that's wrong, but immediately the New York Times published a retraction and said, we got the facts wrong. The crosshairs were not over the faces of individuals, they were over the election districts. We got that wrong, and we are, in this instance, correcting that error in the facts. Notwithstanding that, Sara Palin went forward with her claim for defamation. When it got to court and was eventually argued before the judge, the New York Times said, hang on a second. Sara Palin is a public figure. As a public figure, under the case law that exists in the United States, you have to show one of two things. Either we were acting in malice, that we were out to get her and acting out of bad motivation, or two, that we engaged in reckless disregard for the truth when we published this article. Okay, we did publish it quickly, but we did correct the error that was made immediately with the retraction. Nonetheless, Sara Palin continued in the suit. The judge heard the case and agreed with the New York Times, and he said the standard is pretty straightforward here in the United States, and that is if you are a public figure, in order to show defamation, you have to show either malice or a reckless disregard for the truth. In this instance, New York Times wanted to get that story to press very quickly. Yes, they got the facts wrong, but they published, in this instance, a correction very quickly, and with that retraction, they set the record straight. So, in this instance, the court came away saying, you, Sara Palin, do not have a case for defamation. Now, what we find as a result of this case, and that what we learn from this case, is that the standard for people who are public figures is much different than those who are not public figures. People who are not public figures don't have to show malice, don't have to show reckless disregard for the truth. All they have to do is show that a statement that was made was not factually correct. And if you can establish that and also establish that your reputation was diminished, that you were cast in a very bad light to the community, then you can bring a claim for defamation. The importance of this case is there is this difference, and the difference is substantial. Now, you often hear public officials saying, oh, that was defamatory, but you don't often see them bringing a case for defamation because it is very difficult for them to do so. All right, we bring this case, we bring cases every week so you understand how the law works. I'm David Allen.